And what would you say has been the best thing that's come out of the Discovery and Design programme for ground control?
So I suppose we started off this project with the view of our investors that this was definitely a project that needed big four accountancy or big ticket consultancy to help us achieve what we needed to achieve. And I think the price points that those organisations were quoting were significantly beyond our budget. So we looked for a different way of providing the solution, and I think we had a good feel for what we actually needed to report. So the sort of intelligence to be applied to sort of design what should the KPIs be. We understood that very well ourselves. So what we needed is somebody that was very specifically in the game of being able to say, this is how you should best structure the software and the sort of infrastructure to be able to give you what you need from the systems that you've got. And that's what I found DataCube really delivered during the discovery page. They got, within a very relatively short period of time, they got under the skin of our existing systems, understood what data we were looking to extract from each system and how we might be able to do that, and then came back with a proposal that was much more cost effective than what we'd been quoted by any of the larger organisations I mentioned in delivering what we wanted to deliver, and a shorter timescale to deliver it. So it was very much a much more tailored output for what we needed, rather than a sort of one-size-fits-all solution that seemed to be what we were getting from the Big Four. I think the Big Four were much keener to try and leverage what they thought were their sort of sector expertise in terms of what KPIs we should measure, which in reality, whilst they've got some very clever people there who've worked in various different sectors, they were still a level of relatively generic compared to what we wanted to achieve. We're quite a specialised business dealing with a specific set of customer problems, and relatively unique in the world. Yet they were trying to apply sort of much broader, broader lens to what we should try and achieve. And I felt like we were paying them largely for what we knew, which is what's important for our business, rather than the bit that we didn't have the expertise in, which was how do you pull the systems together to give you what you need. And that's where I think DataCube, being very specialised in being able to design those solutions, rather than being experts in should we measure churn in this way or that way, they were very much explain to us what you're trying to measure, and we'll explain to you how to organize the data in your system to get that. And I think so. We definitely majored with DataCube on the latter of the mobility of data and how do we manipulate that to give us what we want. And they were very good at trying to help us understand the different business rules that we needed to apply in getting to that solution. And I felt like at the end of the data discovery page, we essentially a phase. We essentially got to a place where we'd got the output needed to go back to the board and say, this is what we want to build. This is how it works, and these are the costs and timeframes to do it. So it was a short investment of money and time that would have taken me trying to do that on my own a lot longer, and I would have had a much less accurate outcome in terms of being able to manage the sort of investors and the stakeholders in the project as to what might be feasible in what sort of budget and time.